Sorry for the delay there, folks. Getting started. We've had a bunch of things breaking down just a moment ago. But in any event, hello, I am newtmechanist. Welcome to the Catbot Factory broadcast. Oh, hey there, Misano. Welcome, welcome. Ooh. I'm slightly distracted. Sammy is demanding attention there. Yes, are you? All of your normal escape paths are more difficult. Just as I mention it, she's done with me. Speaking of, we have Sky top left, Ember left center. Sammy passing through top left. Soak it in while you see her. She's usually gone really fast. Sherbet scurrying through into the left center, and Mason entering the main room through top left. It is going to be a casual chat in Scribble Day today. We'll see how it goes. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this, get the digital art stuff rolling. I do need to spend some more time practicing it even off stream so I don't forget stuff. But it's a lot of fun, and it gives me an opportunity to just chat with folks. On that topic, how you doing, Mazano? I see your handle has changed again and become very long. Buttons. Those are running. All of this is running. Okay. Stylus over here. Get ready to do things. Still coughing a bit, but it's gotten a lot better. We're getting closer to the normal cough and not the special cough. New eye tracking is still running. Not sold on it, still a little bit twitchy. There we go. Background layer, we need a paint layer. We also need the right color. This one will do, actually. All right. Just start with some basic scribbling, you know. Terrible, but we'll get there. Let's rotate. Slow and steady. Still a bit more curve there. Yeah, line's thick enough though. Use our pixel size to about 20. Give us a little finer lines. Should we try this time? There are various drawing exercises that you can do for digital art to try to help. Them is stuff like zoom in to really see what we're doing here. So the idea with that kind of thing is pressure control. You go like darker, lighter, darker, lighter. Without breaking the line. And alternate it throughout the long strokes so that you can get an idea of how that's working for your grip, that kind of thing. Those kind of things. They're kind of things that I do need to do a little bit of because I'm still really rough with this kind of thing. Let's go for our cat bot again. Hey there, Megan. How have you been? I am doing better. As I was saying a little bit earlier, I'm down to an annoying cough instead of a really one that was debilitating in interesting ways. So I'm past most of it. It really just feels like a very light cold at the moment. Yeah, doing better. How about you? I also have to get used to not pressing my hand as hard on the pad, because if I avoid doing that, I can get longer strokes without dragging, you know? Don't want to rely too much on a full stroke, but with hard lines like I'm doing a lot of, it helps to get close. I got a cheap one on Cyber Monday. This is just one of the, like, it's a pressure sensitive pad, so like there's no screen on it or anything like that. This. And actually just a new layer over it. Selection, like that. Go over and select an eraser brush. And switch to brush. Well, have fun at the party, Megan. It was good to see you again. Then we light up this layer again. Box around this one. I want to transform it a bit. Not like that. A little in like that. I could use the line tool for this kind of stuff, for drawing the edges. But this is as much learning the tools as anything, so I don't want to rely too much on the geometric stuff. It's the Control E, right? Now we have one layer with that. Because I could do things like this. Brush, and we'll select R. Oh, okay. L is lighten. Interesting. I had no idea. So I could do line art like that. But that doesn't get me used to the pen strokes. Which is something I'm trying to do. theory, the use the custom select. We're rotated, so a 90-degree capture isn't quite what we want. Try to do this line again. So in theory, this shape should diminish more towards the bottom. Since we're looking kind of, describe it, we're looking more at the top, so the bottom should taper more. Like that, though. We're gonna start this again. So what we're looking at is kind of a cube like this. Should it be that way? Should it be that way? I almost think... Let's look at a cube from a different perspective here. Let's say we look at one full on like that. That line tapers a bit. This line should taper up a little bit too. Like that. So we're more akin to that. It's, if we can see this corner, then our perspective will shorten this way. We can see this corner that, like that. Our perspective is, well, 3-point perspective, but that kind of thing. So we have to tilt it up a little bit to get the shape that we're looking for, but that, and then like that. A little narrower. We're definitely off. That's right, Reaper. We're drawing today. Kind of a casual cooldown day. Hopefully I will spot people chatting a little faster, you know. Well, we're going over a cat bot again. I distort that a little bit. It's gonna be fixable. I can fix it if I up that line there. Or the problem is like that, yeah. This one should be more like that. Not that eraser, I don't want a hard edge. Size it down a bit. Not that much. Oh dear. Didn't want to go back that far. There we go. We be scribbling. We be scribbling. Maybe 100? That big. Quite what I wanted, but it'll do. Kind of transparent. Still wonky. Still very long for what I want. Hey there, Templar. Welcome. Doing a scribble stream here. Trying to do nice parallel lines. Kind of a drawing exercise day, you know? Not gonna be that much in that direction, actually. Down in that direction. This being kind of our central corner. Have you been, Templar? Have you been? Pop in another layer, actually. That. We'll keep it above just so I can see it. Not if it goes in that direction, it wouldn't be like that. Still plenty of time to chat if you guys want to. I'm focusing a lot, but it's not such that I can't stop, you know? Don't worry about interrupting. Cursor is lost. There it is. Part of the exercise I'm doing is trying for smooth lines, or at least parallel lines, you know? Hey there, Gumi. Welcome and feel free to lurk. I am hack drawing. Be closer to center given where they are. Pop in another layer here because bottom of the sphere of the box I should have been drawing in these guidelines before. So if that's the bottom of the box, then the little cylinder legs are going to be like that. Carry them down a little further so you can notice the first joint. Should be curling more along that. Should have a line more like this in them. Circle like that. Okay, so if we go in and like that now. Get more towards the center. Kinda like that, maybe? Need to work with my cylinders from perspective, too. Off target. Kind of a bigger circle off of the bottom. Curves in. Those are definitely wrong, but we'll start with this. We'll start with this. Proportion-wise, they're definitely wrong as well. Now we take our eraser. Going. Isn't quite right for the object that I'm drawing there. These are losing cylinder and are much more like ovals. Here. Insert another layer above it. Our drawing brush again. Hey there, Tass. Yeah, we're trying to redo the catbot here. I've been doing some light study offline. Behind him. Like that. Okay. Kitties are doing well, King. Here, let's switch over to the cameras real quick. We have 3 visible. Sherbet's in his little castle here. We'll see how long he stays there. And this is kind of his spot. Like, Mason likes that upper platform there. A couple of other places that Mason will nap, of course, but as far as where they... Like, there are plenty of spots that are by default where one of the cats stays. And that one's where Sherbet stays. Let's extend the ears back a little further here. Let's get the angle right, too. Sir? Free up my elbow. Over here. There we go. That's better. More towards what we should have. That. Like that. doing a lot of practice on getting the pen to do what I want, you know? Okay. Let's do another pass. We'll fainten this layer up a little more. I do not like how the legs turned out, but they're off kilter. The perspective is just off on the feet for sure. Go in. Like the opacity of that one. Is this better? It's very fuzzy. Oh. Do it on the right layer. Yeah, for this layer, we'll do that. Working on rendering things in the right perspective. I would like to start working on getting less hard geometric shapes is what I'm working on. Like when we were working on the heart. We're gonna put this guideline in there though. These lines are real important. Those ones I just added in, at least for what I'm doing here, because you can see this triangle is off a little bit. Better. There we go. Yeah. Better. That's about right. Better. Okay. Trying to kind of get the whole arm into the motion instead of relying just on my wrist, which should also help with the whole racked with pain after doing it kind of thing. Which is always good, I find. Nice when your relaxing hobbies don't leave you in a great deal of hurt after you do them. A little curved. Like that. You gotta move on. You gotta move on. It's curved off. That's better. Still a bit of a downward curve with that motion. There we go. For those joining, I am definitely not a digital artist. I am trying to learn to use the tools. It is a hobby, but it's fun to learn. Feel free to suffer along with me, you know? Should curve more like that. I think so, yeah. Seems right. Brush. Using this one. This one should also curve a little down. Because we're looking slightly down on this little guy, kind of from here. And this point is more of our perspective. Right here. So things will kind of stretch up and in that way. That line's still okay. That line's still okay. Not quite, but close. I think that'll do. Put the main paw finger right there. The paw pads on a catbot are kind of grippy, kind of lizard paw pad kind of things. They don't really have thumbs as much. Or at least their thumbs are such that they're not terribly grippy, you know? The original didn't have the full thumb layout, but we'll put it there just for clicks. Technically a little ball in here. Would be a bit concealed by the subsequent layer. It's bending out. We'll need to smooth that out. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Scrub that a bit. Yeah, close enough. Little congested today, but a lot less sick than I have been, you know? Cough has become quite manageable. hasn't been lozenges 24/7. This is off. We should have kind of a line down here. Should be a lot more like that. Like that. See if we can clean that up to be what we want. Definitely not quite like that, but have a be akin to that. Should extend more that way and less this way. Same with this one. That should make the foot cups a little easier to make there. They're definitely not perfect at all, but they're way better than I was getting before. Yeah, this line is wrong. Still want that. So let's go back to this layer. Should have something more akin to that. So if we lasso this, we'll something like that. Brush. down like that. Also have a line out. More like that. Rotate the pen, stop doing that. Not again. This is where one of the practices that I should have thought of at the beginning would have come into play. And that's boxing it out sooner. Erase these. Clear picture of what we're doing. This line is way off. Right either. I think that's close enough. I think that's gonna do. So that's why the little leg, the knee joints aren't right, that kind of thing, is that I do not have these boxes lined up properly. So the still really wrong. Clean those up here. Brush. All right, shortcut. Actually, no. We're going to stick to our guns here. whole point of this operation is to get good at freehanding this sort of line. And eyeballing this sort of shape. I think that's good. Something. Definitely go beyond. Line up like that. Just a line that's kind of like that. My model doesn't reflect it, so you can't see the little tongue stick out every now and then. There we go. There we go. Round these corners a little bit. That. With these little guys, we need to bed them more firmly into it. So let's put some guidelines here. More akin to that. Okay. Make sure that that's really opaque. Go in with the eraser first. Do that. We need to erase the correct layer. Hey there, Levi. Yeah, Megan was here a little bit earlier. They had to go to a Christmas party or holiday event of some kind. Hey, thanks for the gifted memberships there. accidentally hitting that right click. That would do it. Okay, so then let's go down to the guide layer again. That. Do that a bit. That a bit more. Like that. Up to this layer. Guide layer. Definitely we need to extend the box. Into that, and then we can extend this guideline out to the. Let's clean this first. A bunch of extraneous lines we got to scrub out. Can't have them interfering. How you been, Levi? How you been? That's good. I'm pleased to be mostly out of the woods at this point. I've had quite enough of it. Alright. So for these suction cups, they really can't be that wide. They've got to be really tight to them. Almost straight down there. It's still right on that side, I think, though. Be a smaller distance, though. Actually, get rid of that before we forget. Brush. Yeah, I've had a cough pretty much forever. So a lot of times I'll refer to, you know, the regular cough instead of the new and awful cough. Guide layer, we need to get this curvature. Assume we're going to hit the edge of the triangle. painting layer on the painting layer. Still very much not right. Don't like how these turned out, but I would need to do some practice with like truncated cones, you know? It's gonna have to do. Okay. So then hide that layer entirely. Cut the opacity further. Hey there, Zach. I'm doing well today, doing better. Making progress, making progress. How about you? How you doing? Good to hear. I'm well and truly done being sick. Could have done these triangles on the guide layer, you know? But it's working out. Yeah, I'm redrawing the cat bot. We did it a couple of drawing streams ago. Is one of our early things. The Catbot is the original Catbot Corporation product before the nanotype you see before you. Can be seen in earlier factory broadcasts before I took over operations. Got a much more Robbie the Robot feeling to it, you know? That'll do. Now we can hide the guide layer. Oh, I messed that up a bit. Oopsie doopsie. I'm getting better, but still very newbie, you know? Still very newbie. And make sure that we're erasing. Scrub this a bit more. What do I do next? Not sure yet, Zach. Eventually, I want to do some stuff with the nanotype in it more. Get the opacity up again. What we can do is it's not that. Trying to remember what the tool was I need for this here. That one. Isn't this tool? So what I want to do is sharpen the darkness on it to make sure I've got very firm dark lines here. But what we'll do is we'll just go over them again here. commit our scribbles. Hey there, Barbed Wire. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. How you doing today? No problem, Barbed Wire. No problem. So just chilling out today. Scuff these edges a little bit. Go back. Legs are so jank looking. But I don't want to get hung up on perfection here because my skill level isn't there yet anyway, so this is practice. Alright, then something we're supposed to be able to do. I want to try this here. Add a colorize mask here. And I'm just going to test the tool here. These are the wrong colors, but start with one of the early renditions. Big gray there. And here. This one's sticking out, so we're going to use it's kind of a background gray. Use this slightly brighter gray for upper area. All of that. Similarly, this one. then let's go lighter still. Forgot the chest plate again, but, well, you know. Light's coming straight in, so could use the lighter one here. No, not that. The lighter one. This one is brush. Use the darkest one here. The back of the ears. And we're gonna pick this really virulent green color for background area here. Okay. Then let it work. I don't know why the background went like super pale here, but like requests for what, Zach? Like drawing things? I'd be down to try something. Okay, how do we... There's supposed to be something to this. Renames it. There's supposed to be a way to set what is transparency on a colorized mask. Let's see. Give us an opportunity to zoom in on the kitty. Do some quick research. Got that color selected. Again. Oh, tool options. Maybe that's it. Tool options. Like that. Nope. What to do? How does work? Supposed to be the tool options for this, but in supposed to show up in tool options. Is the Something's not right about this. It did nothing. So what I'm trying to do is there's a way to set a particular color as the transparent color. And if I can do that, then that will make it so that I've got a firm demarcation between colors. One of the things that this would let me do is create alpha masks a little more efficiently. Because I could go through and like paint in a particular area and say, okay, make this area the right color. And then use that as an alpha mask for another group. But it not working. See, the tool options doesn't show that as a thing. Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm missing. That's what it is. Okay. There's a colorize mask tool. Stupid wiki auto advertisements. Desktop sound off, so you guys figure that, but you know, still. missing. Let's get that back in there. Make sure I've got the right green. I set that one as transparent. Have it process again, make sure that the green is cut out. Should be able to erase this. I don't know why this came in, but you know. So like we can remove the line art. And we could clean this up quite a bit. You can see some spots that it didn't work. We could always fiddle with it a little bit more before we had that work going the way it was, but, you know. It's a start. You do need to do some more drawing exercises to get better at this kind of thing. Quick break, then I'll be right back. And we'll start something else. Getting all settled in here. All right, let's set it on cat so I can get everything all cleaned up here. All right, let's start fresh here. What shall we do? Any suggestions? Brush. Do some practice circles here. Try to do some practice circles here. All right. Whoops. How about that? Foreground color. New layer. Do with this blue color. We say dot there. Be able to see that. Put a dot here. Dot here. Dot here. Make them thinner than that. so here, like so, it should have mirrored it over. Yep. And one here. Okay. We're just doing some perspective review here. Let's do another. We're learning. We're learning. Some time on this one. Again, we'll save ourselves some time. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we can see a bit more of our perspective here. So for example, I go in, put opacity here a bit. Take this red color, make it really pop out from what we're seeing. Oops, not that layer. This layer. Not quite perfect, and I don't know why it's not lining up how I thought it would, but so it's trying to draw shapes like this and understanding that perspective shift. Yeah, something like that. Let's try to create it again. Delete that layer vertically. This will create a flat plane. We'll create a plane. Through which we can look at some of the way this stuff plays out. So right near the center of the perspective, we can see it's much more square. But as we go out, like, these lines get shorter. So it's growing towards the front. Like, this is the longest that the right-hand side of the square is. We can't really judge by this, but what we can judge is that this line is converging, this line is converging in. So now if we add another layer in that is still mirrored at the top, and we'll make it that blue color. Just going to target intersections here and see how we do. wonder if there's a better way to do this. I feel like it's got to be a eyeball it sort of thing. Of my new audio, of the new audio that I picked up for this, this is one of my favorites. Just kind of messing around right now. We did that. All right, let's try to do stuff here. Nope. Mirroring, just brush. Yeah, see, here's one of the... Here, let's... We zoom in a little bit. You can see these edges are going to taper inward in this perspective. It's apparently 3-point perspective. I presume is because you have the lines radiating from 3 points, you know, that makes sense. We take one and Just using these as guidelines. That. I'm gonna run it down a ways. This. Ever so slight, and it gets more apparent as we go down. Okay. This is what I was trying to do with the catbot. It's like cubic grid paper, you know? I wonder if there's a good way to generate this. Maybe if I were to mark the edges. Have each line hit a particular marker, if that would create the result that I'm thinking of. Let's experiment more. Is there a way to set up a grid? Yes, there is. $760 is our edge mark. Mathing. I see. I don't know when that flower popped up, but thank you again, Templar. So slow to notice those. I feel like it's part of the chat UI that TikTok gets us that makes that difficult, is that I'm watching for new messages, you know? But they appear at the top towards the old messages. Neat. 80, right? I think actually I did. Yeah. Do a marker at 2880. Make those markers bigger. And then we will take our red color, line smaller. That. Start and we'll go through. Guide markers aren't showing here. Well, that won't work. And I think mirroring it is what we should be doing. Put each of the same spots. Layer, we take the blue, starting at the middle. That. Hide this layer. Yeah. Okay. That's our base layer. This is our base. That one. So what we can do is we're going to resume drawing lines on this one. We're doing some perspective practice. Paste this layer. Or mirror vertically. This layer. Get another new one. Ultimately, the question is do I get that a nice interlocked result from this? Makes huge apparent. Keep that layer. Let's keep it. Just hide it. Not much different. Not much different. Let's just resume the exercises, shall we? With a brush. Without it mirrored. Just scribbling, just trying to get used to geometric shapes. You know, life drawing and basic volumes are things that I'm going to need to be doing. There are useful skills to have. The goal of eventually not using this kind of like guide to practice it. And then, you know, getting to that point where you're just sort of eyeballing it as you go. Gotta keep trying, keep working at it. So along those lines, it's a 3-point perspective sphere, cube. Another thing we should try doing. Things like saying like, okay, I've got a cube. So I've got the cube. And we're going to say this is the relevant face to it. So then we try to rotate that cube in space. Ideally, the same cube, you know? kind of focus is doing things to my eyes. So then maybe let's head on this cube. Rotate it up a little further. So it's perfectly face on, you know, not likely to draw something like that. Down a little bit like that. We're rotating volumes in space because eventually one of the things you can do is start to sketch this really. This. Oh, that way. This way. This way sharper. So then if we take that volume, we've got, we try to do like a sphere inside of it. We desperately try. We add a new layer to it. Then start with like really wants to curve in that fashion, so we'll let it. wider head than we'd like. Over here, you'd have the normal ear. Cat ears are something that are trickier to position. You really need to position the temple correctly. You know, you don't want them too far forward. You don't want them too far back. But facial structure. So you start getting to a point where you can map out the boxes and do similar for like torsos, that kind of stuff. And eventually, maybe someday, we'll be able to do this for, you know, an actual drawing. And not this sort of hackery that we've got. Hey, we got 3 cats. Tangential, non sequitur. But eventually we'll get stuff like that. But that's part of why we get the practice with the boxes in, is so that we can do these on this layer. We would do these on the guide layer. You look at it, you say like, okay, then maybe the torso is this much bigger. It's going to be a long neck, but you can start to get used to the proportions of it. Also, the effects of depth, it's the head turned a little, with the torso turned this way, there's not much visible of this. Subdivide the boxes to get different results. And even put all the boxes on different layers. Lots of guides for this kind of stuff online. A lot of variable ones. Like you'll see people doing different patterns for this kind of thing. There's apparently a facial drawing pattern that is really like rigid, and it can result in some known mistakes if you try to use it. The difficulties here with this pose is that I don't have much visibility on this edge. And we can take the volume that is kind of here. Would kind of be the shoulder. That. So we could put almost like a ball joint there, which would give us possibilities for how to arrange another cube. Say it's here on the edge of it, down hard to the side. Let's get rid of our rotatey cubes here. Tilt this one forward a bit, such that we can't see much of this side, but we do have it coming out ever so slightly. Cube back here. If we go out this way, there's not much visible of the cube, the box here. Put another box on the end. This is where the life drawing thing could actually come in handy more. And why I've done things like, hey, let's draw the cats. Is seems wrong. Be more akin to this. Yeah, we gotta truncate it that way. Then we put a sphere in there. Cube here. Get forward at more of an angle. So like that drawing cubes in 3-point perspective stuff would be practice for doing this, which I'm doing badly. But doing this kind of thing, then you can be like, oh, you know, the torso is kind of here. Sort of a torso here. Lower part of the torso. We have area. It's really two ball joints together, which you can then smooth into the upper body. So then we could go up here and say like, okay, there's kind of a neck-ish thing here. We've almost got like a really badly drawn Saitama going. The neck would be more over here. Like that. Kind of a collarbone here. This is where anatomy will completely fail me. Because I'm not familiar enough with the shapes to make it so that they will look proper. And I definitely know that the proportions are wrong here. You know, the head is way bigger than it should be. You can do kind of units of measure here. So like this is about one head. So then if I Sherbet has come over to the desk. We take this. Oh. As we can see, I think I can't remember how many heads you'd want your torso to be tall, but it's take this, that layer, that part out. Paste it into that layer. Take this line here. The torso ends about here. So maybe like 1 1/3 heads into the torso, which isn't terrible, but that's how you'd start figuring it out, is like what is that proportion to get into it. Also making sure that your canvas is big enough is important. That, and then having reasonable examples of how the different muscles would play out in the pose that you're looking for. You know, getting just a general idea of what pose you want to accomplish would probably be a good idea too. You know, generally, I want the head here. I want body to come down. Have the arms out. Maybe if this arm is forward, maybe that arm is out to the side. You know, where you want the legs to be, that kind of thing. This is where having a reference would be good. So maybe that's going to be the thing that we do for the next time we do some sketching in chat, is I'll get a reference picture and we'll try to work from that. That could be a lot of fun. But, you know, it is what it is. For now, we'll take what we've got and call it done. Not this thing. I mean the little sketch that we did for now. We'll take what we've got, call that done for now. But yeah, it was kind of fun. I still need to practice more. I might try to remember to do some more offline so that I can improve further. This is as much an excuse to just chatter, though. It can be nice. Gonna try to get the new schedule that will definitely follow this time set up for the coming week. Some point tomorrow, maybe early Tuesday. Get that posted out there. We're definitely going to be doing Monster Hunter as we have been. Not sure on the other stuff. The wearing both wrist braces while playing Mages of Mistralia worked. So we'll probably play some more of that. See if we can move a little more swiftly, not get hung up on another puzzle. I'll get through that because the spell making is fun. It definitely looks like it's going to cap out. There are some aspects of it that I don't know. It feels like they phoned it in. The fact that like some of the things look the same, but I'll have to experiment with them more and see if there are variations that I haven't seen the difference to, but that they're tangible. Get that rolling. Otherwise, I'm going to be trying to figure out some other stuff. You know, we've got our scene investigators, we've got our Monster Hunter collab, and we've got Mages of Mistralia, but that leaves us with 2 more spots. We'll probably devote one to this, and then we've got that new thing we want to get in there. Tempted to say we're going to do EDF since early next year, hopefully early next year. We're going to be seeing EDF 6, and that could be really exciting. Anybody play EDF? Anybody here play EDF before? Really fun third-person shooter kind of thing. It's set in a really cheesy sci-fi setting. Earth is being invaded by aliens, but the aliens initially are just gigantic bugs. And it turns out that the bugs are being controlled by giant frog monsters who sort of like herd them around. But those giant frog monsters are just cannon fodder foot soldiers that are used before robots and big gray aliens in powered armor get deployed. And there are even bigger robots. And all of the dialogue is just horrifically cheesy. We always joke that it sounds like they had dedicated voice actors for each character, but those voice actors were given their lines without any context and not in any given order. Because there are moments where there are 2 characters ostensibly talking to each other, but they seem oblivious of that fact. They're both in their own world. Yeah, maybe I'll start playing some EDF 5 in the coming week. That could be a lot of fun. With that said, though, thank you everybody for joining us. If you haven't already and you'd like to see more content like this, then remember to like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is on the platform in question. There's probably a button below or to the side or something like that that you could be pressing, and I encourage you to press it. But yeah. I hope you had a good night, and I will see you again next time.